Hey guys, it's Samantha and I am coming at you with another plan with me. This is for last week, the first week of August in my Erin Condren, and I'm using this gorgeous SPC photo kit. What was it called again? Wouldn't it be great if I could remember? It's up there. It's just really like Pool Day. The full boxes are just gorgeous and I thought they'd work so well with the yellow and the colorful. Plus there's a ton of blue, and you guys know I love blue kits. So like July with all the blue and November, those are always like some of my favorite months to do in this new colorful. And the old colorful, I like loved June and July, and December had blue in it too. So yeah, that's going back years. So I already went ahead and cut the washi with my paper cutter because I am going to be pulling in the yellow bow washi from Simply Gilded. I did pull in the other sizes if I wanted to use them. I've actually never used my 10mm, but I did use the 5mm in the spread, like in my actual planner. I used it. I'm seeing it there. I think that's the only place I used it because I pulled in other colors. So yeah, I did realize I don't have any like lime green washi. I was like, oh, I'll pull in some lime green. And then I'm like, I don't have any lime green. So that could be a thing. All right. I think I want to start by putting down the bottom washi. Sometimes I do the sidebar first. Sometimes I do the bottom washi first. It really just depends on what I'm feeling. And honestly, I feel like I'm super slow at putting this stuff down. I feel like I watched some people do it and I'm like, how did you get that down so fast? Maybe it's just because I'm like a neurotic perfectionist when it comes to this kind of stuff. I will, even like in my own planner, sometimes like setting up the foundation of my spread takes me a hot second, which is part of why, I mean, I don't really pre-plan out a ton of my plans anymore, like when I'm going to clean things or whatever, just because with my job it's sort of like whenever I'm home and Joe's home and stuff gets done is when it's going to get done, and then I'll put it in my planner then. Or if I know like that day, like, okay, I've made a to-do list, these are the things I have to get done today, and then I'll put that in my planner. Probably should have whited out those lines. Yeah. This is what I mean, like I'll do stuff and then I like change my mind, or I'm like, oh, it would have been better if I'd done this, and then it just takes me forever. And this is what's it called? Tombow washi. I got like a pack of 10 on Amazon for super cheap. It's so far a little more reliable than the Bic washi that I had just as a random washi whiteout lying around. Okay, let's get this corner unfrumped because I don't want to recut washi. I don't like wasting washi. Okay, good, I didn't pull up any of the color. Okay, then I'll white out the top two lines over here too now that top two lines, that's what it does. So yeah, this was like a really rough week for me. I'm gonna get a sip of coffee before I start diving in. So yeah, this was just like a really rough week for me mentally, and like rough in a lot of very like real ways and not just imagined ways, but it's like stuff that either involves other people and like for their privacy I can't talk about it, or like it doesn't really matter, you know, it's stuff that like isn't just about my personal life or whatever. So like nothing bad like happened to me, but it was just stressful. And you know, when like you hear things, you think like, oh, but what if like the worst case scenario happens and I like get fired and no one ever talks to me again and my life is ruined, and like, you know, like if you're an anxious person, if you're a worrier, you know what it's like when your mind goes to those places, even though any person logically would be like, there's no way that's gonna happen. But when you're really good at the panic and freak out parts of life, which, spoiler, I am, then that's like how your brain operates. So you always assume the worst, which is you should not do. I do not recommend doing that, but that's what I do. And so that just made this week way harder on, like it made it harder on myself to get through stuff. And so I was just, I've been really anxious. Like I have like panic attacks very occasionally. But like it's gotten to the point where I start to get, like, I call it my 1,000-yard stare, where I feel like I sort of am disconnecting from my body, like the lights are on but nobody's home sort of thing. And like, for instance, I talked about when I was in Austin, like on 6th Street, that's what started to happen. Like where I was just like staring off into the distance, and like I felt like I wasn't really present in my own body anymore. And like that can be a sign that like a panic attack is imminent for me. And like I just start to feel like really, like I kind of just dissociate to like get away from whatever the uncomfortable thing is, and like without actually I don't know, I'm like just using that word to like try to explain it. And so like that happens, but like every once in a blue moon I'll like go, this used to happen to me a lot in college, and it doesn't as much in like after college, where I get like, so like the adrenaline I think is so crazy. Where are the headers? Oh, there they are. They're like on the bottom there. The adrenaline is so bad that I will start shaking, like physically shaking, and I can't stop. And Joe wasn't home on Saturday night, and I didn't put it in my planner because I like did so much on Saturday, because Sunday was Joe's birthday, so I wanted to get like all the chores and stuff done before, you know, like things. I'm actually going to do this differently to keep the order, because I want the yellow between the blue and the green. I'm going to put my to-do on top and then my dinners second, which normally I do dinners on top and to-do second. So I've only been using one of the weekly ombres, and then if I have a mini kit, I just stack the 2 3-heart checklists. And so far that's been working for me, because I found my planner piece, I think. Which isn't to say things might not evolve and change as my life evolves and changes, but I feel like my planner is pretty and it's functional, and I use it pretty much every day, and I'm happy about that. I'm probably going to put a piece of washi up there. Sometimes I feel like depending on how far I space it out, like I run out of room for washi. Do I want to do that? Or maybe I'll grab a piece from here. Is there a skinnier? Yeah. I'm going to do this piece with like the grass in it. Okay, but yeah, so on Saturday night I was physically shaking, and I couldn't stop. And like for an hour and a half, I was just a basket case. It was not fun. I would not recommend it. So don't do it. But yeah, it was miserable and I did not have fun. How do I want to do this? I don't want to do the scene just because it's kind of boring. And I want to use like the 4 fun boxes, but I might still put 2. I might still put 2 on the bottom to put the weekend banner, unless I might do this and put the weekend banner across those 2. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I get back over here. Because I could do bum bum. No. I'm gonna move this one up. I either have to do like the 2 at the top and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like 6, 7, or I do bottom 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I think I'm gonna do that. I don't mind having boxes in the middle. I know some people don't like to have boxes in the middle. It doesn't bother me. If I'm doing a scene, I'll do 2 together, but I split up scene boxes quite often. I'm not always dedicated to having them together. I have to wait for this to dry off. But yeah, I've been having a lot of anxiety and just struggling with a lot of things that like aren't usually a struggle for me anymore. And you know, I've been doing all of my good self-care and getting my sleep and you know, doing what I'm supposed to be doing to be healthy. And you know, but there's always going to be things that are outside of our control, like environmental things that we can't control. And part of living with anxiety and dealing with anxiety is, you know, there's this concept of like radical acceptance, which was something that like when I was in treatment for eating disorders, like that you have to just accept like you can't change it. Like, I'm doing a really terrible job of explaining this, but like there's other ways, but like basically I've just been trying to be like, okay, like this is how it is. Like this is like, I can't do anything to change this particular situation. It is outside of my control, and like I'm gonna be okay and it's gonna be fine and I'll make it through. And like it's really not that big of a deal, but like when you're anxious, you know, and like you can get like really worked up about something and then it turns into a big deal in your brain. So I've had like 3 of those external things going on this week where like they're all things that are completely outside of my control, and it's just made me sick to my stomach. But you have to move onwards and upwards. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna start putting down glitter headers. But yeah, and in terms of like food and like weight loss stuff, just because I've kept you guys like pretty updated about what's been going on, I have maintained my loss, like my healthy weight loss. For those of you who like aren't as familiar with like what's been going on, about a year ago, I, with my like therapist's blessing, healthfully lost, started losing the weight that I had gained from having like binge eating disorder, which is what like, you know, why I ended up in treatment. So, and I'd also gained some weight during like recovery, not quickly or rapidly, but a big thing for recovery was just like normalizing food and getting over, like even while I was in the middle of like where I'd binge and I would eat like unbelievable amounts of food in one sitting, there was always like, I had these really weird food rules, like just, I don't know, like certain things, and that's part of like where the binges would come from. It would be like, well, if I'm gonna break the rules, then I might as well just like, you know, screw it, and like I'll just, you know, because I can't break the rule again later, or, you know, it was this all or nothing mindset. And I'm trying to think of like what, because it's been like so long there were just certain foods, like I would get really weird about like eating carbs, and then I would binge and eat like entirely carbs. So like it wasn't even stuff that like made sense. But part of like why I think I was binging so much is because I was completely avoiding carbs during the day. And then my brain at like 9 o'clock at night would be like, okay, time for all the carbs, and then, you know, yada, yada, yada. So, what was I saying? I decided though, like I'm like 5'4", and my ultimate goal weight is to maintain between 125 and like 128 pounds. I've been that weight before while there was a couple years between when I was struggling with like, it used to be called non-purging bulimia because I used like over-exercise and periods of intense restriction as compensatory behaviors. Now it's just all considered the same diagnosis in the DSM-V. So between that, when I stopped doing that, and then when like the binges kicked back up again towards the end of grad school, there was a period of a couple of years in there where I healthfully maintained that weight, like I wasn't obsessing over calories. I felt like I was eating normal amounts of food when I wanted to eat them. It wasn't really like, I had about a 2-year period in there where like food wasn't something that was stressful for me. And I just didn't have to think about it. I felt like a normal person. So I've been hovering around between like 135 and 137 like for the last, I don't know, couple months, which I was over 160. I don't know what my highest weight was. I threw out my scale. And I had started losing weight before I repurchased a scale, like when I decided I was in a mental place where it was okay to weigh myself occasionally and I could do it without being obsessive or weird, which I don't. I weigh myself like once or twice a week. It doesn't feel like a judgment if the number isn't what I don't want, you know, like all the good mental health things are there. So I decided like I need a break. I have about 10 pounds more left to go. But I have just been like, cause I've been like calorie counting, not in a like restrictive way, but in a like budgeting sort of way. Like here are how many like calories you can have to healthfully lose weight today. This is like up too high. You can see a sliver of yellow. Sometimes with these yellow ones, it's really hard to put it down because it's so light. It's harder to see like on the bottom where the boundary is, and it's still up too high because then you can see like the shadow of the yellow underneath. There we go. And then I want to do a silver foiled weekend banner. Oh, there is that one. I feel like that might stand out better on the blue just because it's yellow. So I decided I'm like taking a break from calorie counting. I mean, I'm still pretty mindful of what's in my food, but it got to a point where I was just really stressed out, not about the calorie counting, but about other things. And I was like basically choosing more often than not to eat like processed prepackaged foods because I like didn't want to do one more thing in my day, and I didn't want to like, you know, if I was cooking a recipe, I didn't want to like weigh out food and like weigh out the total amount of the recipe and divide by 4 and like how many, you know, a serving is now 297 grams and like splitting it up and doing all that stuff. And I just wanted to like be able to cook and not have to like weigh and measure each ingredient perfectly and like put it into like the MyFitnessPal recipe thing. And it was just like, I need a break because I'm choosing to eat like fast food and junk food all the time. I'm gonna start putting down like birthdays and bill dues while I'm still rambling. Oh, I'm doing date covers too. Yeah. And I just wanted to like, I felt like I wasn't eating healthfully, like not in terms of calories, but in terms of like quality. it didn't feel like I was reaching for healthy foods anymore, because I just wanted stuff that was pre-packaged, that I could just scan a barcode and enter my calories and have that be that. So I needed to like get back to cooking and like remove a layer of complexity. And I feel like I have been eating like a lot more produce and a lot more like veggies, if that makes sense. So even like, I did go out to eat twice this week, but like I made a really delicious like roasted corn and zucchini soup, and that was so good. I've been making these like vegetarian poke bowls. I've been having them like for lunch. I think I've had it like 6 or 7 times in the last 2 weeks, between lunch and dinner. And then I have been like, because Joe is on call twice this week, I can put Joe's calls in too. I need date dots. Do I want to do silver foiled ones? I might just do like black ones, which of course the 30. I might just do those instead of doing foiled, because I feel like, I don't know, it's fine. But yeah, I feel like it's working. Not like in terms of losing weight, but just in terms of like giving myself a mental break, which I like need a mental break. And yeah, so I mean, quite honestly, that's been like that took like a big weight off my shoulders, to just be like, okay, I'm gonna like still eat mindfully, but like not count calories for a little bit, and just enjoy where I am, and not like beat myself up for not being a certain weight by now, and it'll be a-okay. So that was like a good choice for me. And then yeah, I don't know, it's just been weird. I feel like I've been getting way more into planning again. I'm gonna do some deco dots too, because there's like all these really pretty dots, and there's blue ones too. Okay, because I feel like that's been like a really helpful thing for me. Like when I'm stressed out, like I come home from work and I just want to come like play in my planner. And yeah, I've just been enjoying getting back into the planning world. I feel like the SPC planner party like really rejuvenated me. I bought tickets to go to PlannerCon. So, or just a ticket. I don't want those like directly on top of each other. Now I get why people use tweezers. These are hard to do a bunch of with nails. I'll see how I like this. This will be a trial run for future endeavors. I'll just do some yellow ones like all the way down, and I'll still, you know, cut some off the top because I like that confetti look. What was I saying? I don't remember. I really don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, PlannerCon. Yeah, I feel like the SPC planner party just like really reminded me why I like planning and the planning community, and that I like definitely still wanted to be a part of it, because I feel like I'd started to taper off in the last little bit. So it's been swell. You know, I'm hanging in there. I feel like I'm at least back, like from after Austin, I felt very overwhelmed by basic adult tasks. That was something I talked about. I feel much more like prepared for life tasks this week though, which despite all of the like stressful things, I feel more on top of a lot of stuff. So that's good. And I haven't had to like struggle to do things like make my bed, and I've also like, there's certain things like making my bed makes me, like if I just make myself do it, like my mental state is so much better. Like I feel so much more at ease knowing my bed is made. Like it can turn my whole day around, which is weird, but like I talked about this on Instagram when I had like that meltdown, like, oh, I guess it would be like a week and a half ago at this point, and I was at work and I was just feeling really overwhelmed, and I was like, I did like in my Instagram stories, like my list of things to feel better when I got home, and like cleaning off my dining room table because that had become like symbolic for how I felt mentally. That's what my bed is. When my bed isn't made, I feel like, just like how if I'm, you know, really, I don't make my bed because I'm really anxious or depressed or overwhelmed or whatever, it can feel like if I don't make my bed just because I'm being lazy, then like I've associated that with a thing that I do when I'm feeling anxious. So like it can end up going in reverse, if that makes sense. Like I've conditioned myself to associate the bed being unmade with being anxious instead of the other way around. So that is where I've been at, but my bed has been made every day this week. Actually, I haven't made it yet today, but I just woke up. I'm still drinking my coffee. It'll be okay. I'm definitely gonna make it before I leave. And I've been wearing, like I bought some better work clothes because I was starting to feel like I wore the same 3 things over and over again, and it's been weird. Like I bought some clothes while I was losing weight, and a lot of them are already like a size too big on me, and like with pants it's like they're falling off of me. I can't reasonably wear these to work, and I didn't have a ton of cute tops because a lot of my tops that I still had were like kind of oversized t-shirt sort of things, which like can look cute with a pair of, you know, if it's like a rolled sleeve t-shirt or something, like with a French tuck into a pair of work pants, and you know, my Vans or whatever, it can be like, because I have like nice leather Vans, like the slide-ons, but I have like sparkly ones and stuff, and it can be like a look, and it was cute, but like I really missed looking and feeling professional. And so I mean, I just bought stuff at Old Navy, but like I've felt better like looking professional, I've felt more professional, and I've felt older and better prepared to handle life, that kind of stuff. I didn't overlap really any on these boxes down here, and I think I did on the other side. I have a few left. Yeah, I'll put like these little ones now. I'm getting the tweezers now. Not like I'm buying them, but I mean, I understand why people use the tweezers now. So I think I have one more. Yeah, I have one more dot. And I will put that there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim off the few little dot pieces that are overhanging, and then I'll be back to jump into the day by day. I did say before I went in day by day, I was going to put down like birthdays and bill dues and Joe's call, because that's honestly how I plan. Like in my main planner, I put down things I know are happening, like at the top of the day first. So I don't need that sheet. I don't need that sheet. Don't need that sheet. I don't know where anything is. Okay, so I only had one bill due on the 4th. I had insurance due. And then I had 3 birthdays this week, which is insane. But that is what it is. So Monday was my friend Corey's birthday, and Corey was one of my best friends in high school and in college. He went to the same college as me. He was like a year behind me. He was in my brother's class. And I actually just got to see Corey like earlier this spring. I went to Columbus. He was in town. He lives like pretty far away now, so I don't get to see him very often, but it was wonderful to get to see him. And now that like life is a little easier, I definitely want to travel to like go see him more often. So put that down for my sister-in-law's birthday. So my brother's wife, not like my husband's sister, her birthday was the month before. It was July 5th, yeah. Because they have, my husband's birthday is August 5th, and her birthday is July 5th, so that makes it easy to remember. All right, and then I have my balloons, because these are my preferred, like, balloon option. I just have to, I already used the really bright yellow for like my other spread, but I can do like the lime green over here for Corey. Andrea, if you're watching, I'd really love if you wanted to make another multicolor of these balloons, because these are like my favorite thing ever. And then Alex's birthday. I don't know what that noise that just came out of my mouth was. I'd like to apologize on behalf of my mouth. This gray blue actually is pretty gosh darn close to that other blue. So we'll do that for Alex's birthday. And then over here, we'll do I could do like that. That might be too dark. I could do that one. Maybe I'll do it's not perfect. It's not like as bright as I would like it to be, but I'll do that for Joe's birthday. And the next thing would be Joe having a call. So let's get some sparkles. So I think he had a call on, was it Wednesday? Did I not put both of them down? Joe was definitely on call Wednesday. Yeah, because I was bummed because I had changed my schedule to work early on Wednesday, and then Joe was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm on call. And I'm like, no! I like working late when Joe's on call because I don't have to like sit by myself for 6 hours. Okay, so we'll put this up there for Joe being on call. That's weird that I forgot to put that in my like actual planner. Maybe it's because I didn't know about it till like the day before, because Joe hadn't emailed me his new August call schedule. And then Saturday, Joe was also on call, which was a big bummer. Weekend call is the worst because then they're like gone for the whole day too. It's not like they're just gone at night. So Joe is gone like all day Saturday. We'll put that there. And then I need stethoscopes or something. I actually kind of don't want to use, I know that's foiled, but I'm kind of thinking I don't want to pull in foil into this. So what if instead, because I have it, what if I used bows to mark Joe's call? Maybe I'll do the ones with the paper clips. Like, just a note. We'll do that. And then I have the one bill due, and that was on Saturday, so I will use the lime green so I don't have two yellows back to back. I actually think I had a second bill due and I forgot to put it in. Oh, I just never marked, that's why, because I never marked my Spectrum internet bill in here. I'll put it in on Tuesday. Clearly I forgot to put a lot of things in this week. The other thing I can put in now is trash day. So, I mean, I can use, it's like trash and recycling. So let's do, is there a skinny blue one? Nope, just a fat blue one. Or I could do a little thing. We'll do a little thing. And I'm gonna pull like munchkins and emojis and stuff into this, but I'm just gonna keep it all non-foiled just to make my life a little simpler. And since there's so much stuff in this kit and I feel like I haven't really gotten to like use all of the stuff from the new SPC Ultimate kit, I'm gonna just kind of simplify this for myself today. And I have my work schedule because I worked early like every day this week, and I did not really do anything before work any of these days. Sometimes I'll have like really productive mornings. I think I just was focusing on getting sleep. Like I desperately needed sleep just to like process everything that was going on and all that fun stuff. And like on Wednesdays, a lot of times I'll do almost all my stuff before work because I work late. Like today I'm working late, today's Wednesday, so it's like 9 o'clock and I don't have to be at work for another 3 hours, so. Because we're gonna have 2 lime greens back to back, that's fine. We will survive that. And then Friday, put my work label in. There we go. Okay, so on Monday after work, I had a nail appointment. I got my nails, the old gel taken off and the new one put on. And I also had my t-shirt order come in from Pretty Sheepy. I don't want to do 2 limes back to back, if I can help it. I'll do the light blue. Leave like a hair of spice. I ordered the same t-shirt in like black and white that Viv was wearing, the pink "I only love my bed and my planner, I'm sorry," like the Drake reference from God's Plan, because it was just great. She wore it at the planner party, and I was like, okay, I have to get that. And then I also took, like I forgot to take a bunch of thumbnails. So there is a camera icon here. And then I'm gonna grab like, there were a lot of like stressed and angry and screw everyone type of emotions this week. It's okay, it happens. And then Joe and I watched like the first half of Ready Player One. It was not good. I would not recommend. I really liked the audiobook. I listened to it. Will Wheaton narrates it. I mean, it's like not like the greatest work of literature ever, but it was a fun read. Like a fun listen. You know, it was good to have on while I was doing other stuff. I really like Will Wheaton's voice. I've listened to like a bunch of books I would have never listened to just because he narrates them. Because Will's the best. He narrates a bunch of like sci-fi books and like some sci-fi comedy books, and I'm blanking, like there's, I have like all of them, almost all of them. I listened to a bunch by the same author, like Red Shirts, which Red Shirts, when you start to hear, like he says, he said, over and over again, and like once you hear it, you can't unhear it. But like The Android Stream, it's all by John Scalzi. Agent to the Stars was funny. Yeah, I listened to like a bunch of those back to back. Just because I like Will Wheaton's voice. It's crooked. Ugh. What was I saying? Oh yeah. The movie was not great. It's still crooked. Why can't I just put this down right? There we go. And then I'll put that in for Ready Player One, which was, like, it doesn't follow the book's plot at all, and it was just, like, all worse. Like, everything was changed, and it was all changed for the worst, in my opinion, so, yeah. And then Tuesday, actually I did do something Tuesday morning. Whoops. Tuesday I filmed my haul while I had my coffee. I'm gonna overlap that there a little and put this back in. And then that's crooked because it's me, and why would I put anything down straight? It's a little better. And when I came home, I tidied my closet, which needed to be done because all this, like, I had unpacked from Austin, but everything was basically like thrown all around my closet. Is there like some kind of thing to mark this? I feel like there's someone that does like a hanger. I think maybe that was like Hello Petite Paper Co. Had like a hanger or something. Maybe I'll do that to mark tidying up my closet. And then I sat down, I cooked like a real dinner. I made soup and the delicious corn and zucchini soup and had dinner with Joe, and we watched like a bunch of YouTube stuff together, and it was just real fun. I'm gonna grab this munchkin to mark dinner with Joe, and then I did plan like this week in my planner, which I have not done yet, so we'll put an emoji in. And then I went to bed early, and I'm actually gonna grab a sticker from Love Shira. I haven't put them away yet. So they're like not organized, and this might take me a hot second to find what I'm looking for. Because I haven't decided which thing I'm putting them in. Like if I'm gonna put them with, I'll do the light blue one. There we go. Should I layer some washi under that, or no, I'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, so Wednesday, Joe was on call, I had work. On the way home from work, I called my mom. And then that night, like I had like a cheese plate for dinner, which sounds way less healthy than it was. Like when I do cheese plates, it's like minimal crackers, like maybe 2.5 ounces of cheese and like a bunch of like pickles, and I have really low blood pressure, so like I can eat all the salt I want. I actually like have to consciously eat more salt, so I had like pickles and olives and tons of like fruit and veggies and that kind of stuff. So I just like to snack on while I was hanging out. Like I probably I don't know, ate for a couple hours. Let's do, I don't want to have it facing that way. Did I do any other like editing? I'll just, I'll put that there. And then I filmed my memory keeping plan with me. So there's the film icon. And then I watched the bold type, which is like, no, actually I didn't, and I didn't change it in here. Did I? Did I just go to bed? Did I, like, I feel like the worst planner person ever. Honestly, I don't remember if I actually did watch it. Maybe I did, and I just am completely blanking on it. I don't think I watched, if I watched any of it, I didn't watch a full like episode. So we'll put that in and pretend like that happened. And then Thursday was just a really crappy day. So this was like just real poopy. I'm gonna just put a bow in with like a little skinny piece of washi behind it. Where's the washi? Where did it go? Because nothing besides me being an anxious hot mess happened in the beginning of the day. And then this was my terrible, no good, very bad day. It was just an exhausting week. I'm like so glad this week is over. We'll do that. Those are like super old school emojis. And then I had trivia with a bunch of Joe's friends from work, and we won, which was great. I needed a win. So I'm gonna do another half box there for trivia. and then use that to mark that we won trivia. And I'm gonna use like a stack of books to mark trivia because that seems appropriate. And I had some drinks because I needed it after the week that I'd had. I was just like, I need a couple glasses of wine and then I'll be okay, which is not a typical coping mechanism. I do enjoy wine, but it's usually like one glass at a time. But it was just like, I need some wine. But I mean, I won trivia, so like clearly I was not super irresponsible. Okay, and then Friday, yes, for a second I was like, did I forget to hit the record button? Friday was SPC new releases. Does she not have a new releases sticker anymore? I can do that with like a patterned or the, yeah, with like the patterned. Label, and then I called my mom again on the way home from work. And it was, again, another really crappy day. And I need to grab another movie marquee because Joe and I watched Coco on Friday night and I was a hot mess. Like, I sobbed and Joe was crying too. Like, both of us cried for like the entire back half of the movie. I was not emotionally prepared for that to happen. And I mean, I was just wrecked. Like, rest in peace, me. I was a hot mess. Just do that. It's close enough. It's a little bluer than the green here, but I'm not gonna spend forever trying to come up with the perfect movie marquee. And then I, yeah, wanted to put like anxiety, bad, everything, like life just sucks. We'll do that. I'm gonna like have to order every one of these again because I've just been burning through them. And then there were also Two Little Bees and Rose Colored Days new releases. I finally ordered from Two Little Bees for the first time, which was sweet. And Rose Colored Days released like her pumpkin spice or pumpkin whatever. What am I talking about? Her new foil colors, and there were like lots of pretty ones, so. So we'll do that, and then I'll just put a star on there. And I do want to mark being emotionally wrecked by Coco. I have Coffee Monsters Co. like crying faces. Put there because that was just like, I was a hot mess. Saturday I did a ton of cleaning. I had like tiny little checklist things written down, but I like busted ass and like got so much done. I was just super duper productive. I still have a little thing on my hand. Let's take that off. Does she not have like a cleaning thing anymore? Because there's like laundry, but I don't see like a cleaning or like a spray bottle. Okay, so that's a thing that I need to pull. I'll pull like one of I'm just gonna do like a clean all the things kind of generic. And then it was laundry day. And there was a washing machine still on here. And I had to unload, and I will use that little thing that was stuck to my hand for 10 minutes. I also did a Target pickup for like some stuff for Joe's birthday. And I wrapped his gifts. So I'm gonna grab like the little present with the bow. And I had film all the things down here, but I didn't end up doing that because I had a panic attack. So for that, I'm just gonna do that right down there. And yeah, that was everything for Saturday. Okay, so then Sunday, I was a moron and put Joe's birthday on the second half of the day instead of at the top, which is what I meant to do. I think it's because I had my full box in a different place on my planner, like my actual planner. So when I was looking at this, I was putting it in the same place it was in my other planner, but the full box stitch is different. Do that, and then Joe and I slept in. Oh, and on top of it, on Saturday, like after my panic attack, I got into bed and I was like, okay, I'm in my warm, safe bed, like I'm gonna sleep, whatever, and a huge centipede ran down my curtain and under my bed, and it was like this whole thing, and eventually like ran out of my room, and I like barricaded it in another room just so I could sleep, but it was like a thing. I hate centipedes. They freak me out. So that was stressful. And Joe was on call and stuff, so he came home like at, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning, and then we slept until like noon, which is pretty excessive for us. We don't normally sleep in that late at all, but both of us were exhausted for different reasons. And then I want to use one of these sleep in stickers from Love Shira. And then like Joe and I got him a Nintendo Switch for his birthday, which he was super excited about. We opened his gifts. I have like another, like that's lime green too. I don't want to do like everything lime green. Let's see, is there like a glittery... And then we like played a bunch of Nintendo Switch and that kind of stuff. And then we went to Burntwood Tavern, which is a restaurant that Joe and I both really like, and they have great happy hour specials. and sat and looked out over the river, and it was just real nice. So I'm going to use one of these squared off half boxes just because I haven't used one yet to mark our day date. I guess I'll get a date night kind of sticker. I'll put that in there. And they do their happy hour stuff even on the weekends, like from 3 to 6. So that was great. And then we ran into Giant Eagle afterwards because we had to get like 3 things. And then we came back and just played a bunch of video games. So I do have a Love Shira gaming sticker somewhere in here. Where is it? There it is. Maybe I'll put a glittery, I'll do yellow. And put that down there. Okay, so that was everything for the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill all this out and then I'll be back. All right guys, so this is the finished spread and I absolutely love how this turned out. I love that I pulled in a lot of bows, that I like kept it simple, used stuff from the kit, like didn't go too wild and crazy with everything. Sometimes I think I overthink things, especially when I'm doing memory keeping and I'm like, oh, well, I already know exactly what I'm doing and it needs to be perfect and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I love this color combination. It's just very summery and very happy and just, it was fun. This was like a really fun plan with me to film. I felt like I was more chatty and I wasn't thinking so much about pulling in 8,000 different sheets of stickers and I was just like, I'm gonna chat and do this and blah, blah, blah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this, that you enjoyed me being a little more chatty. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.